Well. Hello and welcome back to another new. This is Nox Destin, your host, and we are. Why? Okay, wait a moment. Otherwise, I can't concentrate properly. Alright. Here we are back with Final Fantasy 16. Well, we had our fight with Leviathan in the last part. Probably been a bit easier if I would have just stayed a bit more calm and collected. But yeah, now we have a few side quests still left open.
It is good to have him back.
Don't worry, he won't summon another flood.
Founder, they're almost at the gate, but they won't be coming any closer. You're finished.
Turn the volume down a tiny little.
That should buy Haven some time at least.
Clive, are you all right?
I am.
Fine. We've taken care of the immediate threat.
Thank the tides. I was worried I was going to lose you both. Talor, he took a sudden turn for the worse just after you left.
What? Is he?
No, he's hanging on. I fear the Tombury King may have begun the cursing ritual again. In earnest this time. And I can't imagine their being here as a coincidence. I think it might be happening on this very mountain.
If it is, it won't be for long. Get back to Talor. I'm going up.
My thanks. I shall pray for both of you.
I'll accept those prayers.
More of them. Come on then. I crave an audience with your king. What a ride!
Da-da-da.
Another group. They don't look very regal.
on, where's the king? Why would I ever think?
Still no sign of the king. Could Fanad have been wrong? There's dozens of them. The king must be close. We'll have to take care of his followers first.
And all suffer in purgatory.
Looks like that's the last of them. Out here, anyway. But beastmen do like dark places. Well, I'll be damned.
King. Harry King. Markups of a hand.
It even has a crown. Sorry, Your Majesty, but your reign ends here.
Okay, to keep the combo up going. That's a shotgun. But say he was swept away. Touched.
It's done. Which means the curse should be broken. Let's see how Talor's doing.
Clive! Is it done then?
It is. I was going to ask if there had been any change in Talor's condition, but judging by that smile on your face, I think I already know the answer.
You do? Talor! He's back!
Thank you, my lord. I can never repay you for everything you've done for me. I owe you my life.
I'm just glad the curse is lifted. There is one thing I'd like to know, though. If you don't mind my asking. What made you seek the Tombury's help in the first place?
Oh, that, well, you deserve to know. It was years ago now, back in my trading days. The Sons of Greek arrested me in Oriflamme, chained me up in a lightless cell with a great sword hung over my head, ready to fall if I didn't confess. Though they never said to what. I didn't, of course. So eventually they just let me go. And I never told a soul. Tried to forget it ever happened. But then you came along and the sight of your sword brought it all flooding back. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't hardly breathe, and I thought that if I gave my old chain to the Tomburys, maybe they could take all that pain away. All that anger. But it only made it worse.
Oriflamme has fallen. And the men who tortured you likely fell with it.
If only I'd known, I might have spared everyone a lot of trouble. I'd convinced myself that you were like them. that all outsiders were the same, but you're not. Far from it. Thank you, son. Thank you.
Welcome.
Clive, there's something I need to tell you. After we parted ways on the path to the cloak, I went straight back to Talor and explained to him what you were doing on his behalf. And just like that, his pain began to fade.
What do you mean? Just like that? The Tombury King would have still been alive. I had to contend with dozens of his minions before I found him.
Then perhaps one of them warned him of your coming and he broke off his ritual. Or perhaps knowing that an outsider was fighting for him was what lifted the weight from Talor's heart. I know from experience that many illnesses are not wholly physical, but of the spirit.
I didn't have to kill him.
Was there ever really a curse then? Or was Talor simply suffering from the pain of his memories? And the guilt of what he'd done? For all the difference it makes. I suppose we'll never know.
Maybe not. But this much I do know. It was your strength and your selflessness that healed his heart in the end.
I'll be sure to tell my healer friend when I get home.
Aha! A Varrying was found.
Is that the hunter?
It's you. Nasef's savior.
Are you all right? What happened?
I was tracking an ibex when a great spout of water struck me square in the back. Sent me flying all the way across the clearing.
Did you see what made it?
No. All I heard was a noise. An ear-splitting din.
Din?
Might this be the culprit? Leave him to us. You've caused enough trouble.
Okay, that was already enough. The hyper beams were turned.
Well, that wasn't too bad. Hardly a threat to the village, but you can't blame the boy for being scared.
You made that look a lot easier than it was.
Do you think that was the beast which attacked you?
That thing? Not a chance. Would have heard it coming a league away. And the blast of water that hit me was beyond anything an Archelon can manage.
Oh. A boy from the village sent me in search of a beast that could conjure such things, but...
That's it. That's the noise I heard.
That's it.
Sounded like it came from the ruins.
I'll go. You head back to Haven and see a healer. What do we have here?
Good. Enhances arm moves. Nice.
Found her. Something's been busy. Whatever this creature is, it's out for blood. But it's not having ours. Stay close, Torgal. Where are you?
Hello. All right.
Another fragment of Wallis' rage. I should have known. Time to put you to bed too. Nice try.
Oh, come on, did I walk out of the combat area? There was a double impact already. On, die. I like it.
Fingers crossed that's the last of them. Either way, I should let Eric know the dangerous part.
Why when we can still do quests?
This should be the path to Witch Drop. Hungry, Toggle.
Oh, it was.
Here's our welcoming party.
on face. Even if we had to water shotgun him.
Looks like that's the last of them. Now, where's the grave?
Up on it.
This must be it.
My lord, thank you for making the path safe again.
Izay. Was that her name?
Yes. Hardly the most fitting tribute for a dominant, is it? A rough-hewn stone with naught but a given name engraved on it. But my ancestors had only been here a matter of weeks when she passed. Every day was a struggle to survive. They had neither the time nor the energy to devote to a more elaborate memorial. Yet they spared what they could to grant her wish, that even in death she might continue to watch over her home.
She lived down there then? In the ruins?
That's right. They were once the living quarters for those who served up in the temple. When the Northern Thanes sent her here to weave her spell, this was where she and her retinue stayed. There were priests, handmaidens, and a knight sworn to shield her from harm. Of course,
met
they were
him.
gone by the time my ancestors arrived, fled or dead in the Western Wars.
All except Izay, who remained till the end. Alone.
Indeed. At least, that is the story as it's been handed down in Haven. But there is an epilogue to the tale. One known only to Lady Shula and myself. Some years after Issei's passing, you see, my grandmother came here to tend the grave, and found a stranger kneeling before it. A knight, dressed head to toe in plate. She asked of him who he was and whence he had come, but received no answer. The only words he spoke were, "Tell me true, whose grave is this?" So she told him of how her people had met and cared for Issei, and how she had died. His only reaction was to stare up at the air of hours in silence. Then he left, never to be seen again.
You said he was wearing plate. Was it black and gold?
Do you know something of him?
When we went up to the Air of Hours to unravel the spell, we were set upon by a shade in the shape of a knight in full plate. It manifested in front of the Vair, and in its ether, I felt Shiva, the witch.
You think this may have been the same man my great-grandmother met? Issei's knight?
I don't know. Maybe. All I can say for sure is it was intent on protecting her creation.
Or perhaps her spirit? What remained of her ether, preserved in the Vair? Perhaps his spirit too became enraveled in her spell, frozen in an eternal vigil.
Till we ended it.
If the shade you fought was Issei's knight, then ending it was the greatest gift you could have given him. Now he can return to the sea, to be with his lady once more. And if his spirit should ever return here to visit her grave, I shall ask his name, that I might carve it in the stone next to hers.
That they might be together. Once and for all.
Maybe. Crafting.
These will do nicely.
Was we hunt? Wait, but
Return to the sea, and to the clouds rise again.
We have our bait then. What next?
Next, we pay a visit to the Dark Gate to pick some local weed. It'll help disguise our scent.
all right. Is this a new area?
There should be a sprig or two of local weed growing somewhere around here. Look for the golden leaves.
Again, not quite. We have this also.
Is this it?
Aye, that's the stuff. Crush the leaves between your fingertips and rub them on your clothes.
If you insist. You could have warned me about the smell.
Like corruption is, but it'll stop the Givra from noticing us. Its nose will tell it we're nothing but a feast for worms. We can wash it off afterwards. If there's one good thing about the Givra choosing the ruins for its hunting ground, it's that there's plenty of fresh water nearby.
Where should we lay the bait?
Givras are creatures of habit. Look for some sign of its passing. It's sure to return to the same place sooner or later.
Marking his territory.
Something was. A curl, maybe.
Okay, not our cue.
Tracks. But I assume they're too small to belong to a Givra.
You're right. They're barely big enough to belong to a Gavra's breakfast.
Yeah, sorry, I was spacing out for it.
A fresh kill.
But not a Givra's. The wounds are too clean. Too small.
Jesus Christ, what are we hunting?
These look like a predator's tracks. You can clearly make out the claws.
And not just any claws. These belong to a Givra. There's no mistaking them. We'll lay the bait here.
Let's hope our friend is hungry.
Ah, yes, perfect.
Still no
Point.
sign.
Patience, Clive. Hunting's not something you can rush.
Have you stalked these beasts before?
Once. Gavras are fast, so the job called for a bearer. But even with my knack, it was a close-run thing.
Not many leaders would take such risks for their people.
Says the man who battled an icon to save a boy he barely knew. It is the
Point.
way of the moats of water to use what gifts we've been given for the good of all. And I gather it's your way too.
It was Sid, the man whose name I bear. He fought for his people and their future with every fiber of his being. I'm just following in his footsteps. In many ways, you remind me of him.
Me? You're confusing daring with desperation. Quiet. Something's coming. Our guest has finally arrived.
Shall we greet him?
It'd be rude not to.
Don't let it escape.
One burnt away.
You weren't exaggerating when you said they were dangerous.
They're forces of nature, all right. And with this one's passing, the river of life has calmed. O roaring torrent, son of storms, may your spirit run free in the open ocean. This flesh I claim, that your gifts might rain down upon us this day, and our river flow in spate once more. Well then, let's return to the village. We must get this tongue to Ymilla before it spoils.
Right, so was. Right, wait, no.
Tributary, my lord. Did all proceed as planned?
It did. Here. One Geaver tongue, as promised.
Oh, thank you. I shall add it to the broth at once. By your leave, tributary.
If there is anything else that we can do to help, you need only ask.
No, no. You've already done more for my family than I can ever repay.
Just as you have, Clive, for my family. I only regret that I have nothing to offer you in return but my gratitude.
It's more than enough. Besides, I'm no less grateful to you.
For what?
For welcoming my friends and I into your midst. For showing us how your people live. For reminding me that the world we strive to create, where bearers can live alongside their fellow men in peace and comfort, is no mere fantasy.
I'd hardly call it comfort. Every day is a struggle. Though we do at least struggle together, it's true.
As must we all. I only ask that you remember the cost of using your gifts as a bearer. I know that you feel it's your duty to do whatever you can to help your people. But you have a child to think about now. And Wallis has lost enough.
I shall bear that in mind.
That's all I ask. Oh, and if there is anything else that we can do to help, well, you know.
Thank you. Truly.
That is a... Ah.
I'm so sorry for all the trouble I put.
How many times do we have to tell you?
You're back!
I
Did you find find the fiend that attacked me and young Eirik here?
I did. It won't be troubling you anymore.
Yes! I knew you'd get it.
Only because you warned me of its existence. Not that you should ever have learned of its existence, but all's well that ends well, I suppose.
What was it anyway?
A manifestation of Leviathan's power. When we visited Wallius in the Surge, he was angry and afraid. The Icon summoned these creatures for his protection. Though why one would be wandering the ruins of Riversmeet, I don't know.
Maybe it was looking for his mum. That's where she died, isn't it? The Falls.
The Falls?
Aye. When they took her baby, she threw herself off the top. We go there once a year to pay our respects. The whole village.
An Eggy is a part of its master's spirit, but Wallius wouldn't have been aware of what had happened to his mother, would he?
Well, either way, you did us a favor putting that thing to rest. Us and Wallius. Thank you.
Aye.
You are welcome.
Thanks, mister.
Orica.
Yes?
And also,
It is good to have him back.
No, it has to be him.
What has to be who? If you, don't mind my asking.
It's not your asking, I mind. It's my explaining. But I don't see any other way around it. You see, when a baby is born here, we hold a ceremony to welcome them. The rite of immersion, we call it. But I don't know whether Wallius was ever afforded that courtesy. What is abundantly clear, though, is that my ancestors never welcomed him as one of us. And I want to change that. The problem is, the ceremony requires 3 ministrators, the baby's parents and a witness. As tributary, the role of witness would normally fall to me, but being Wallius's closest living relative, I must play the role of mother.
So you want me to serve as witness in your stead?
That's right. A witness must be a trusty guardian, ready to steer the child through the stormy waters of life and on to tranquility. Which is why I thought of you.
oh,
It would be my honor.
Thank you, Clive.
So, if you will serve as mother and I as witness, who will take on the father's role?
I have a younger brother. He should be making ready for the rite as we speak, though whether he is or not. Let me introduce you.
Please do. If he's anything like his sister, I'm sure we'll get on famously.
I'll bid him come to the Witten Hall. Will you wait for us there?
Gladly.
what? We will be doing that next part. Because I feel like we can make a clean cut here, get the first 1 hour part in without much troubles, and then go straight into the next one. continue on our cleanups and like, and yeah. So, I hope so far you had a fun experience. Is it on the next part? Until then, this was your host, so all of you have a good day. Thank you for when and where you're watching this. Until the next part, stay safe, stay healthy, stay up, and be well. Bye.